and for tomorrow they'll be rooting for. We're jumping into the second half here. Again, it finished off with this really sick clutch from Sayuri. Now the teams have had a moment to think and get ready for the second half.
So Sayuri calls her team to go into this B site with 4. No one's actually on the site for G2, but they're ready to flood in. Rescue in that heaven smoke, a temptation with SRN revealed on the trip, but she finds Mel first instead. Rescue dashes back, and MIBR have traded this out well. The IGL again is doing great work.
Ooh,
oh!
Just a nasty shot. Vanya's struggled so far in the first half. We know she is one of the best players in the world. See what she can do into backside. Gets the first one. Has now been taken down low.
But it's a high-low now for MIBR.
Shadows traveling.
Vanya smokes off the spike, but she's chipped down to 1 HP. And MIBR are just running her down. Jubes actually dies for it. SRN is blind now. This should not be possible. Vanya trying to stick to halfway. SRN baiting it out. She gets the kill. It's their time. It's down to the last second. And Vanya's done it. An absolutely unbelievable clutch.
Vanya is unreal! The 3K there. Getting on the spike, doing the paranoia. She had to get it to half. For the Red Bull clutch, I mean, just watch it again and appreciate.
But for MIBR, let's go! Just an absolute tragedy for them.
Gut-wrenching.
A 3v1 post plant against a 1 HP player. You cannot let opportunities like that slip.
Still, MIBR have gone for 3 sheriffs in this round. Don't forget, by the way, G2 won the second round after losing pistol in the first half. MIBR have had some tough luck on these low buys. But there's still some winning chances for them. Like, I don't want to oversell this right now, but if MIBR are able to find some kills, also say hello people.
Okay.
You get off the rope first. No, you get off the rope first. Sorry, jumps and... No, she didn't lose any HP. Good. That's a classic. What I was going to say, though, Sayuri is just 1 away from having the Cosmic Divide.
Amy. Spotted out. Blinded here. Okay. Rescue. 2 bullets, 3 kills. Couldn't ask for anything better. Did she go for the ace here? No. Jelly won't allow it. And hold on. It's a 2v3.
I have the spike.
MIBR will get the spike down.
Cosmic Divide. They gave the spike over to the Astra.
But G2, they're all grouped up together here. Already used a paranoia, and Sayuri is dealt with. Jelly would need to get an ace here. But she's already so low. Swings into Petra, and no chances there.
Did you really think they could win the eco?
I believe for a second.
They couldn't even get off the rope, Mimi!
The Brazilian sheriffs, though,
I'm amazed they made it to the site.
Okay.
Honestly,
They've
wow.
learned from that one now.
They have. Next time they get stuck on the rope, it'll be fine.
Rescue 2 off Bladestorm as well here.
Enemy spotted.
I'm looking at options available. G2 going for a really true bonus here. Had some options if they wanted to buy a few more rifles, but feeling very comfortable with the lead they have at the moment.
Here.
I think Rescue might even try to creep down into mid off of this line. Spot out any jump peek shenanigans.
MIBR right now just playing contain in mid, though.
Decent forward information for G2. They used a KO knife into A main early on. There's this very forward camera that Amy was able to put down in B2 and the line they're holding in mid. MIBR are spending a lot of time waiting for the aggression that's just not coming their way.
Amy's own camera. Also not catching anything yet. But MIBR are going to group up and finish B.
I like this approach from G2 on a low buy. Really not giving much for MIBR to work off of. So Sayuri is going to end up throwing down the Cosmic Divide, you'd imagine, to guarantee this one.
There it is.
Amy?
Okay, Amy. Going for that one and actually being rewarded for the risk she took. SRN gonna take a risk of their own, just charges straight through that wall.
Planted.
It's right underneath Rescue, and Rescue's got no idea.
I really don't think you expect a player this deep.
Drone pushes them off the angle though, and actually gets tagged on the way out. Brutal.
The tripwire again. 3v5. This is G2's bonus round.
And the
Dart
dart
goes
misses?
sailing off the map, but MIBR, they're just gonna light up the kill feed for 3. Sayori, again on this site, making mincemeat of G2. The Blade Storm. Okay, Rescue wants to win this one. But the Astra's just running for the hills. She's getting pestered by utility and maybe a little too confident in that one.
There was definitely an angle for G2 to get in there, but that post plant, down in numbers. The combo of Sayuri and Jubes was really nice. Playing off each other, smokes are coming down. It can get really hectic in those post plant situations.
We've had the SRN absolute giga carry, get in my backpack 500 ACS game. This one has been much more about the team. I think Sayori and Jubes have had some massive rounds to keep MIBR in this.
Yeah. Ironically, the other side is kind of the opposite story. I think Rescue has not been as dominant as I would have expected coming into the tournament, but map number 1 looking real good. So hold on, Rescue is just up and underneath Melissa on the other side.
But she runs away.
Repositioning back over into mid.
Get SRN. Walks all the way up to this trip. Petra. Rescue as well,
What a
not
timing.
ready. Incredible. SRN is gonna go hunting for more.
And at the same time, the rest of the team is moving over into B.
found my
Amy is
wire.
trying to step up onto this ledge right now. Can she find the timing? No one's coming to clear her away. She finds the jump. That's going to be one end of the spike. Can't convert on a second.
But now the Agent of Chaos in mid. SRN activates again. Petra dinked. And the shorty, that'll finish the job.
Just brutal. The rest of G2 was rotating back through mid, back to the attacker side at spawn.
This is now a double flank, and MIBR, they now know at least one player is heading this direction. That's Vanya spotted out, but Mimi is an unknown quantity. Camera for Jubes. Oh, it sees her. Now the game's given up, and this round becomes that much more difficult to win. Mimi,
Uh-oh.
though, okay, good start. Damage as well onto Melissa, but time, that's a huge factor here. It's taking away. Mimi eludes death yet again. Vanya's halving it, surely she can't get away with this type of game again. Not this time.
It got a little bit close, but MIBR played a masterful round. I mean, what SRN was able to do up into mid there, ridiculous. I mean, look at that. Heard the rotation from Rescue a little bit earlier, so it was primed and ready on the dart. Tripwire, whatever it's called.
Something like that.
Was able to find 2-3 kills in the round? Come on.
MIBR proving some real tenacity this game. It's rallying back. They now have G2 reset on an eco. But G2 have won a lot of eco rounds already this game.
They have. SRN gets posted on an op, that high angle in mid, while the rest of G2 getting ready to push over into A main. Shots traded back, but Sierra's not going to take any damage. I like that idea from MIBR. Play a stronger mid this round to make sure G2 can't get that cheesy push down and split your map right in half. Spot out the aggression and go for a grouped up reclear.
Yeah, MIBR a little traumatized by the eco rounds they've lost. They're gonna
Never
play
again.
all together this time. Not take any risks. Clear every angle with the drone. And take a fairly open A site. G2 have a flood retake though. I think this dart flash combo could be potent. They can even use it, so it's still rotating in. Okay.
I
You
guess
have
we're just getting
knives.
active
You
anyways.
have an operator, chooses to use the shorty to convert that kill.
Whatever works, Mimi.
Okay?
Don't doubt a god. I'm talking about Vanya.
Yeah. But that god falls too, and it's a little strange to me that they're investing the null command there. It looked like a one round already.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even notice that going down.
I wonder if it was like a misclick or a little panic.
I don't know. G2 calling a timeout to give MIBR a chance to think about that all. Yeah, honestly,
Understood.
how many kills has Sayuri been getting through smokes this game?
Yeah. More than you'd expect.
Happening a little bit too much.
Yeah. No! I I live for the MIBR reaction.
Honestly, it's always good. It's always good. I feel like the player reactions to this tournament have been excellent.
They have. Critical juncture now for G2. They're down a round on their map pick. They're going into bind after this, where MIBR has been lights out. So to say closing out this map is kind of a necessity for G2, I think could be an understatement.
Yeah, especially because this is the map they're really supposed to be winning after what they showed against Shopify yesterday.
Yeah.
Going
OT.
17-15?
Yeah.
That would have finished out ridiculous.
The issue, though, was defense. Remember, they could only ever win attack rounds in that OT.
Yeah.
Especially their B site was just getting brutalized by Shopify. Floor was running them over on the executes.
The thing is, I don't feel like G2 need to do anything crazily different. They've gotten caught out in mid that one round. That was pretty bad. But apart from that, it was just a post-plant situation in the anti-bonus where they should have won by all means. They were up 5v3 and just lost to some good shots. It doesn't seem to me like in this game it's a strategic problem. It's just some rounds not going their way in the ecos.
Yeah, they've only lost one rifle round this half.
Yeah.
But the thing about Valorant is you lose another and you're already looking down the barrel of a map loss.
I think it's interesting that they're opting to do very little in mid, just put down the tripwire. But I kind of like it. Playing a lot more aggressively for the sites, holding A main.
SRN buys an attack operator here.
Sova spotted out. Not seeing Jet though is a big deal.
I wonder if she expected something aggressive from G2, try and punish that with the off. They are going a little aggro in A main.
Yeah.
Instead, it's Jelly here to contain.
I really like these looks from attacking teams that just take early B main space and leave their opper to hold for an angle. Because, I mean, that's a favorite angle to just go for a little jiggle or go for a jump peek. Or you can also hold it for Heaven or all the way over on the left side where, you know, Vanya's thinking about going for a peek a little bit later. But what this does when you go for the op and you go for this playstyle is it slows you down tremendously. If G2 aren't doing things, you just have lost 50 seconds after a blink.
I feel like I've watched this round from G2 earlier in the half. It's a
And
fake attempt, ult to use. That's a really big resource gone, and 3 players are still on A.
The thing is, there's still 2 players on B holding this, and SRN is entering with a rifle who switched over to Sayuri, so they're going to the backside. A good flash to start things off. But the kills, not all going MIBR's way. Vanya's able to escape and call in the rest of her team.
3v4. G2 need this round. Mimi has a flash. They'll work together to work back into this site. Oh, that's a good start for G2. Mimi keeps it going, and it's an easy conversion to tie us up again.
Yeah, everyone coming out from Heaven there on G2. It worked beautifully. Mimi starts it off with a flash, flashed herself into the site, as a matter of fact, and keeps it going. MIBR definitely felt the time pressure here, especially after they got sort of beaten to the punch. They were trying to go for a fake over into the A site, but a really nice time to re-clear of A main. Nets G2 so much.
Rescue also recovered the operator that SRN had brought into that previous round. So now she gets her turn. She'll go aggressive on B.
There's 4 players here, though. It's so hard to get a kill against all this util.
And Rescue. Do something here. Already knifed up, yeah. Gotta get away from that one.
Ouch. Wow, if Melissa's the only player with a Sheriff, a rifle there may have had a kill.
Astro Wall used. Dart. Locks off. G2
SRN.
separated by
That's
this
all right,
round.
they're gonna go! Into backside, diving around the Astral. That's absurd. Finally, she's put down.
But in mid, Jubes spots out 2 players, but can't make it work. So now G2 have this even again. Petra swings through the wall, the timing. Oh, how has she lost that?
Jellybangs gets the kill and gets out. It's a 3-on-2 now.
Jelly fell
Wait,
off
what?
the map.
What?
What is going on? 2v2. They still have an Astra Star for the Brazilian side, and ult as well to work with. This is a very tough one for G2 to win. Time so far gone. They have to kill this Astra, but she gets the pull off in time and wins the fight against Amy too. Now it's Vanya, a familiar position, but this time without the spike half, without the luxury of time, and with no HP. It's 10-9, MIBR pull ahead again.
What an absurd round. I mean, SRN's pathing into the site is just a thing of beauty. Using that wall to sort of give that pathway up to top site,
Yeah, she
diving
went
down
back
onto the
and
op.
forth through that wall a good 3-4 times in that entry.
Mimi's trying to figure out where Jelly is, or where SRN is. Just in the walls, and down.
Goodbye, Jelly.
Still won the round.
Yep. Calculated. Didn't give away an alt orb.
So smart.
Laughs it off, though, for Jelly.
Why?
It's not the same vibe for the G2 coaches.
Same knife thrown by G2 this time around, but a very different setup on a low buy.
Weird money for G2.
Yeah. Hero rifles, because, yeah, a few players can buy next.
He only has a classic.
It's a tough choice to make.
So Rescue.
And so much forward space.
Yeah, she's been so good this game. And no one's ever walked up to this position. Thus far this map, there are a lot of MIBR players here. SRN! I didn't even look like she was ready.
Credit to MIBR, like being fully ready for that, because G2 really tried to sell that same walk-up into B main as they saw last round with Rescue. Tried to do this little feint, but MIBR, Sayuri has called around this perfectly.
Yep, straight back into A. And only Vanya is here to anchor.
Bulldog up from heaven, but...
Second trip in the same spot. Precautions taken.
Jubes has had all the different trip ideas.
She has. G2 used their util very early here.
Oh dear.
Oh, they're rewarded for it. Petra, just 1 for 1.
30
But
seconds
wanted
left.
something more. Vanya, what a shock dart. Down to 53 health. Smokes now getting cycled towards heaven, and MIBR.
Amy ran into both trips, and now there's 3 people wide swinging her.
Both of them. Okay. They know she's here. But the rest of her team has to come and bail her out. If this can be a pinch, that's massive.
Hold
And
on.
Amy has found a gap in this round. Vanya smokes a spike. Flash into main, but the flank is dealt with, so is Vanya, and now this round is nigh on impossible for Mimi, who has no HP.
Well called around from MIBR. Remember that started out with that mid-aggression they were able to re-clear, and then kept things really simple going into the finish.
Second game now, where G2's defensive side is struggling.
Yeah, and this time without that little bit of cushion towards the end. I think this is pressure moment for G2, for Rescue especially. He's had a good game, but this op has to be good.
And it's an op duel on A. Both Jets with the weapon in hand. How
A jump peek!
did she win?
Are you
that?
kidding me?
It's unreasonable to expect her to connect that shot. I mean,
Rescue
when was
was
the last time?
completely unprepared for how fast SRN went for that.
When was the last time jump peaks like that worked? That's like the beta tech.
It's been a long time. They nerfed that.
Yeah, okay.
SRN does not agree with patch notes.
No, she doesn't. Making a real case for MVP.
It's interesting though how MIBR have called this. They use a drone over into B, maybe feinting a little bit of extra pressure, but really they're still trying to see if G2 are gonna overplay their hand, down a number. And they have. That A site completely open.
Yep. Haywalt will stop G2 flooding into this one quickly at all.
Vanya got that operator now for the retake. But we know that op is going to be so hard to find value because MIBR always play forward in the post plants.
SRN single-handedly with this operator has brought this into a 3v5. I almost feel like G2 has to save
They
at
have
this
to
point.
save.
They're going up against 12, 250 credits on Amy, 300 on Petra. They just don't have the resources.
The unfortunate thing about saving too is you don't have chances to get ult orbs back, right? Petra's not going to have that ult now in a must-win round, round 22. But simply put, G2 have not been able to find the answers to this wild style play of MIBR, right? Whether it's the start of the round, SRN just sprinting A main, full audio, jump peeking, getting the kill, or in the post plants, always fighting into G2 spawn.
I love watching MIBR because it feels like they play such good, proper Valorant, call good mid-round, slow down the game, and then they just have one psychopath who's jump peeking you at the start of every round, who's going deep on the post plant with an operator, and who's now 24 and 16 on map 1.
SRN just forces you to play differently. You can't jump peek anymore. SRN's gonna be ready for the angle. You can't take a moment to breathe. SRN's gonna be forcing you off of the angle.
G2 goes in, have cobbled together a buy.
Oh,
Petra,
warning shots from SRN into mid.
you won't get another warning.
Blocking vision. Get out
Watch
of
where
my way.
ResQ is though. This is a little bit of an angle where she can dodge off the angle, get back in after waiting out something like the drone. ResQ needs to find something, but again, she's spotted. Melissa has not allowed ResQ to play the game this half.
Spike retrieved.
This round is so slow from MIBR. They want to finish B.
Don't forget about Jubes in a
Here.
late mid lurk too.
ResQ, the 17-year-old star for G2. She has to be the one to keep them alive this map, and that is a great start. Connects the operator shot onto SRN. Now Amy's utility comes in as well, but that trade through the smoke from Jelly.
ResQ, the only player on B here, but MIBR don't know that. With 35 seconds left on the clock, they're calling the rotate out.
Jubes! Oh, that was her chance.
30 seconds
Doesn't
left.
get anything for it. It's the 3 new players for G2 goes in, who have kept them in this game thus far.
And now G2, you gotta feel like they know what's going down. They're leaving that A site open, and they're gonna allow MIBR to take some more forward space. This is so important for Melissa. She has to go on a hunt.
G2 fully group up.
They're ready for it.
They should not let Melissa get away with anything. But Petra is so far ahead of the rest of the team. There's a paranoia. Melissa tucks in. Jelly as well is making something here. Down to 10 health. That angle is good damage onto ResQ. The Blade Storm whiffs. She's off the map. And MIBR strike first. They claim G2 goes in's home map.
Melissa with the 3K to close it through. What a round! Down into a 2-on-4, but they took their fight so perfectly. Every angle Jelly's going on to. Just ridiculous.
MIBR, an incredible start to this series, and we go to their favored map of Bind when we return.
Red Bull gives you wings.
And if you're wondering why I move the way I do, I just feel so good, good, good. I just feel so good, good. I just feel so good.
I got the juice like a snow cone. Ice in my veins and a cold flow. I'm getting cash overseas by the boatload. You wanna ride my wave? That's a no-go. Senoritas going loco. Make it bounce like a pogo. All my haters see rojo. They big mad cause they coming up short like Frodo. Activate the beast mode. I keep it hot, give your brain a heat stroke. You ain't a big shot, you some basic B-roll. The world is mine like my name's Pacino. Hey, it's Nico, I guess I'm back. Catch me in the fast lane on the right track. And my shorty is a 10 like a dime bag. Got me feeling like a millie, check the price tag. Got the party jumping like crisscross. Got the gold chain and the wristwatch. Pull up on the scene like a big shot. EDM and hip hop, ain't no time for pit stops. Got the party jumping like crisscross. Got the gold chain and the wristwatch. Pull up on the scene like a big shot. EDM and hip hop, it's my style. No time for daydreams. All my brothers get money, we call it gangrene. Just another day, but our focus still on the same thing. Us against everyone else, I recommend you change teams. Who the hottest in the city? We the top 2. You said your music was litty, but that is not true. Just being honest, you should really just stop, fool. Matter of fact, empty, no pockets, give me that watch too. My mind is wicked, that's why I spit it so hostile. Freaky girls in the crib, it's like I live in a brothel. All I spit is Leviticus, but I'm not an apostle. My nuts hang low, long and they colossal. Black trader black, she messiah to the misfits. Run circles, run these rappers till my shit splits. You a little late to the party, baby, I been lit. If you ain't on the friend list, you better mind your business. Ooh, got the party jumping like crisscross. Ooh, got the gold chain and the wristwatch. Ooh, pull up on the scene like a big shot. EDM and hip hop, ain't no time for pit stops. Ooh, got the party jumping like crisscross. Ooh, got the gold chain and the wristwatch. Ooh, pull up on the scene like a big shot. EDM and hip hop, it's my strong. I got the juice like a snow cone. Ice in my veins and a cold flow. I'm getting cash overseas by the boatload. You wanna ride my wave? That's a no-go. Senoritas going loco. Make it bounce like a pogo. All my haters see rojo. They big mad cause they coming up short like Frodo. Activate the beast mode. I keep it hot, give your brain a heat stroke. You ain't a big shot, you some basic B-roll. The world is mine like my name's Pacino. Hey, it's Nico, I guess I'm back. Catch me in the fast lane on the right track. And my shorty is a 10 like a dime bag. Got me feeling.
Here right now with Coach Marlo of MIBR, and we have Arthur to help with some translation. I have to ask about that last round because that was a 4v2. What was going through your head?
Então, na sua cabeça, a gente tem que saber o que estava passando nela, porque foi 4-2. O que tem pra dizer pra gente?
Eu sinto que elas ganharam vários rounds assim e tava basicamente na hora da gente começar a ganhar também. A gente foi crescendo confiança durante os rounds e eu sabia que uma hora ia sair um round assim pra gente.
Well, comparing to G2, they also have situations like that they were winning. So I was just trusting that it was about time for us to start getting those for us as well. We started growing confidence through the game. So I guess that was the timing.
Especially on this map, right? Really quickly, I just want to get your thoughts because this is a map that MIBR don't really play and this is a map that G2 is actually very comfortable on. What was the game plan for this?
Então, especialmente nesse mapa que parece que vocês não jogam muito, mas é uma zona de conforto da G2. O que você esperava para entrar aqui nesse jogo na Abyss?
Na verdade, a gente veio com todos os mapas treinados. É um mapa que a gente sabia que era o conforto delas, mas a gente conseguiu ver que não era tão forte assim, por mais que elas joguem tanto. E a gente conseguiu explorar alguns pontos. Eu acho que o que dificultou hoje nesse mapa foi mais o nervosismo do que o jogo delas.
So yeah, we did enter the game knowing that it would be like a comfort zone for them, but we prepared all the maps we could before coming here. So in the end, I think what made it a little bit harder was just a bit of nervousness, let's say. But overall, we could actually exploit some things here and there and actually get an advantage.
Well, thank you very much and good luck to the team.
Welcome back. MIBR steals away G2 Gozen's map pick of Abyss away from them in this incredible very first map. But before any of that, we got to talk about our HyperX reflex moment from Vanya. When we were on the pistol round on the second half, we had an incredible moment in a 1v3 situation.
Yeah, this was insane. Vanya was clutching like this on Abyss the other day as well. Is able to tap that spike, bait the first player in, finds the kill. A 23 HP, by the way. Was saving the paranoia the entire time for a bit further delay. That allowed to get it to half, and then finding the headshot on SRN. Last millisecond defuse. That was so sick. I thought this was going to be the turning point in the game, where it just went all in G2's favor, to be honest.
The thing about that, Wyatt, is that there are many rounds that look like they're going to be G2 Ghost's turning point. The getting the eco rounds, because we've seen them struggling a lot in those gun rounds. I believe at the end of it was a 9-3 on favor of MIBR. Is the fact that they're not able to convert the rounds where they could have an advantage or they could have a lead on, maybe not finding any profit in being aggressive or in trying something different for their side. On the other hand, we see an MIBR that brings in the jet that was having a lot of impact. It is something that we expected, but especially on that attack, just seeing the aggression, the operator being used the way that she was using it, just being so incredibly proactive even after the plant, it was too much for G2 Ghost to handle.
You know, I'm glad you brought up the operator. Let's talk about that here in this head-to-head stats. Particularly with that.
Yeah, it's crazy to see that SRN bested ResQ on Abyss specifically, and in the op kills specifically, because ResQ has been so dominant on both sides of this map, in fact, with that weapon. This is, listen, ResQ's best map in this tournament by far is putting up almost, 0.3 more kills per round on this map, on this Agent Jet, compared to the others. And not being able to best SRN here is scary for the rest of the series when we're looking at the map, especially when there's going to be Neon. We've got Bind next with the Raze head-to-head. ResQ is going to need to step it up on those agents because SRN is in prime form.
And that's the problem, right? Like everything that MIBR is trying is working. Even using, as I was saying, the operator on the attack, SRN just will keep pushing. And now moving on to Bind, we saw it yesterday, time after time. It's not only about finding those open
And tackle this.
Yeah,
They've been struggling for quite a while, right? I think that they also tried putting Petra on the fade, but overall, and the feeling that I got in Abyss, and I think it's going to happen on Bind, individually, we know that they're brilliant. We know that they have the aces, they have the crazy clutches. Is the overall, the communication, sometimes it looks like it's not there. I remember a 2v1 moment right there on Abyss where we see that there's something flaunting there and the pressure probably getting to them. But as I'm saying, it's between map 1 and 2 that we have seen Mimi constantly giving that pep talk to everybody into what the biggest issues are and how they're going to fix them.
Yeah, heading into this Bind, similar to the first time these teams played Bind against each other in their last BO3, G2 were starting on attack. That was the side they performed better on. We'll see if they can get the 6 rounds they did then, or even more as we head into this. They're really going to have to step it up here. MIBR look elite on this map.
I mean, I was saying in the pre-show, and it was one of the questions in the G2 Good to be true. The G2 Ghosting was the only team in this tournament that did not play the double controller here. And even for this lower final, they want to try this approach, putting Mimi on the Breach and Amy on the Viper.
Yeah, that is interesting to see. A switch up coming into this one. They really struggled to defend these sites against MIBR. This is a great comp for playing retakes instead of the anchoring that was failing the last time when MIBR were hard hitting and just destroying the defenders.
I want to see how well drilled this is, because on the side of MIBR, we've talked about it, SRN is crazy. Jelly on this map is on a different planet. This is also the first time that Amy's going to be playing the Viper in this tournament.
Well, you guys have made excellent points, but we need to let the game move on. We're heading into map 2, and this best of 5 is far from over. Let's send it back to your casters, Mimi and Ender.
Thanks very much to Victoria and the desk. And MIBR have stolen away G2 Gozen's map choice. And Chrissy, this is the map that G2 got kind of owned on the last time these two teams played. So now here, with a brand new comp for G2 Gozen, the question is, how much did they fix in the little time they had?
Yeah, honestly, to me, this seems less about like making a ton of fixes and just making sure people are on like better agents for this map. They need to switch something up. I think Mimi on Breach could be really interesting, but this is a bit of a Hail Mary, I feel, for G2. This is a map that expected to put MIBR up to a stun ready to go. If that Prowler had hit something a little bit closer, maybe we could stun, maybe we could satchel. As it is, the single satchel comes through off the stun, and Octagon's completely owned by G2.
But MIBR still have hookah control and even have SRN peeking out forward here.
Yeah, G2 are going to go back into the sand space and re-clear it. Mimi saw something and has a flash available if they want to fight, but it looks like to me that it's just going to be a full-on rotation out of here into the A site, just ignoring that sand space entirely.
They call back to A. Sayuri!
Nice.
Again! She was lights out game one and just looks to continue it here, okay. Forced to teleport away. Amy. Oh, Jelly actually doesn't go hunting there.
Sayuri!
Another dink? That's 3 players headshot now. Only 1 kill.
Just only hitting heads, and as she continues doing damage through smokes, I mean, she is the smoke demon. She just keeps finding these shots. And G2 maybe get one on the end, but it is all sorts of falling apart now.
Sayuri. The only player she didn't damage this round is the one left alive, and Jelly on the flank puts that one to bed so swiftly.
Yeah, a bit of a madness round there. MIBR jumping in the TP early, G2 calling around it, but then getting split up themselves with Amy jumping in. But really, this was just the Sayuri show. I mean, hey, playing around the edge of that smoke, that's a true one-way for her. It was those shots from backside that looked really nice to me.
And this is, I think, really scary for G2 Gozen, going up against an MIBR who is just 1-year map pick, who's coming in confident, wins a pistol round with their IGL fragging out. Just like a recipe for a snowball.
Rescue getting quickly over to U-Haul, but these paint shells just being traded out a bit. Best case for G2 right now is they can find some way to fight through their smokes on site. You can see they're looking for it. It was a nice flash, and Petra's able to find a kill, but these guns at longer range, a little bit too much to deal with right now. G2 still have no real stance in the space.
That wingman's vicious. Hunts for maybe an hour to finally stun up onto Rescue, and she's chased back in to just end this round.
Ultimately, what I'm looking for in this half is...
Fist bumps there. A little long.
Don't leave her hanging. Come on now. Yeah, G2 definitely have the home crowd behind them here, but need to get this next round under control. We already saw there's some ideas to fight into backside with this breach. A lot of good utility there, but primarily why you would take this breach over something like the Gecko is for really explosive plays in early rounds.
Sure.
Whether it's going to be a stun into showers with a double satchel, whether it's stunning off of Prowler contact into U-Haul. The breach makes it challenging to impossible to play on those forward lines consistently as a defender.
Oh, fight brewing outside showers.
Come on.
I think that was combined with a haunt from Melissa.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, Petra gone, that's such a big person to lose. No fade utility.
And different to running the Gecko in that breach slot. Now there's no info to be gained with anything. G2 are gonna have to step into these lines, and at some point, Satchel in too. Quickly into the side is Rescue, right against the wall though, but no one can follow. A good molly from Jubes, and the shots lock down the site.
Yeah, she was so low before that engagement even took place. G2 slow down. Contact into this site, but MIBR have 3 players all ready to swing. And Vanya's putting the spike in jeopardy. She makes good on it.
Okay.
1 kill, teleport out.
That's one way to make the Omen make sense. Haven't even really given too much time to that. G2 are gonna end up jumping in this teleporter. They've still got Amy hanging out on A short. Her fight up against Melissa is the one to break this side open or not.
Melissa's haunt. Doesn't find a tag, SRN.
30 seconds left.
A little awkward there, but Satchel's away. Now the swing from Shepard. That was 1 bullet! 1!
Down A.
And she gets the second too, of course she does. It's SRN! And she is on fire. That's a bonus round for MIBR. I almost feel like G2 need to take a timeout. They cannot let this snowball.
And I fear it will, because now I started sitting on 7 kills, has a showstopper ready. This whole play starts off with the pick that SRN was able to get outside showers with the help from Melissa's utility. And it ends with not being on the line of the breach. It ends with getting real loud in the comms.
I don't think they've ever felt better.
No, SRN is in the zone right now. And honestly, for MIBR, this is a team that is peaking at the right moment. It hasn't just been domination domestically.
And what happened last year? Team Liquid Brazil peaked at the right moment. They built into that tournament. They got better every match. And then they 2-0 G2 to make a final.
One down.
Different team, but the vibe feels the same.
Last player standing.
On pace for a flawless anti-eco. No one even got shot.
He got shot at, maybe, but just warning shots, truly. Pretty quiet in the G2 camp right now.
They need to dig deep. Crowd will help to bring that energy back.
That's for sure. You can feel those vibrations through the headset, that's for sure. But G2 goes in. They're gonna hit the pause button themselves. Like you were saying, trying to figure out this round, there's some big ultimates heading into this one. Petra's got the Nightfall, showstopper for SRN. And I think this gives us a little bit of a chance to talk about Vanya's Omen, because this is a pocket pick for her, right? Like Vanya, one of the best players in the world, absolutely lights out as a fragger. And the Omen gives her that extra level of sort of self-sufficiency where she can take that fight, TP out. You also saw a lot, you know, Potter and EG, they did a lot of these Omen shenanigans in VCT where you can throw one-ways on the TP so you can never get crunched on when you're trying to attack in. That can be good. Teleporting into side as a second dive agent too.
Yeah.
Throwing smokes that you can jump into on top triple or, you know, onto top site B.
Even doubling up the TPs. You can have really disruptive ideas. Get out backside, get out heaven. Changes how you normally play against an attacker on this
The
map.
thing that's hard is because it's flanked by a Viper instead of another smoke, you know, circle smoke agent like a Brimstone something. You can't really get away with throwing those anti-crunch smokes because then you only have one smoke for the side exec, and already, especially on A hits, you're kind of wanting for more than just the two.
G2, despite running this breach comp thus far, have struggled to get the early control on the extremities. They'll try to this round.
Off the Prowler, maybe looking for a stun. It's not the fast double satchel play.
MIBR thus far have shown a good awareness of these trap plays, have stayed out of that stun. This one could get a bit riskier. Prowler, this is out.
That's good calling, though. It's important not to stay posted on the forward lines and instead look for the reclears.
Fade ult, they follow it up with a breach stun. Is Rescue gonna go deep?
Yes, she
She
is.
wants to. Melissa holding, and it's a 1-for-1 trade. SRN, the rocket, arrives and connects as well. Sayori, IGL versus IGL down short. Mimi shows a barrel, but she spins to get the kill.
So now it becomes Tubes' turn, spamming through triple right now, but the wide swing from Petra shuts her down. Jelly can't make it happen. It's a 3K for Mimi.
And G2 off the timeout, come alive on map 2. And now this is something they can roll with, something they can work with. A Rolling Thunder earned for Mimi.
Start stacking those ults on through. Win this round, you have a showstopper in the next. Really, this one came down to strong team fighting, right? Good tracking from Mimi, very aware of U-Haul, because she was really the only player with eyes on U-Haul. But she kept getting those fights. I can only guess what she's saying there. But finally, G2 starting to wake up into this bind.
SRN is alone.
Has that ever stopped them?
No.
Never.
No. They're so confident. Maybe even a little
Look at them.
cocky. I mean, just dancing around. She'll escape, and the util finally gets about it, but the nade from beyond the grave. Escape artists on both sides.
Lands the fadeaway. Absolutely beautiful, but check out Showers because Rescue has stayed there, and I think the rest of the team is going to start rotating over into this B site to put down pressure. You often expect Raze to be sticking around with the team, but G2, even on the last map, left Rescue on her lonesome multiple times.
Oh, MIBR. 3 walking down short.
Do they get a flank themselves off?
Or does Rescue cut this off?
It's all a timing game right now. So many different possibilities.
There's a known quantity. G2 should get B. But what does Rescue get on the other side? They're looking at her, and she misses the timing.
Bring them down.
Now G2 forced to go into this B site.
30 seconds
Good from
left.
Jubes to fall away here. MIBR have the numbers advantage. They can work back into this site slowly, but it's not so simple. There's no Dizzy for Jelly, just a hunt to get back onto the site, and G2 have nice positions in the post.
G2's a player down, but they do have the Rolling Thunder for Mimi.
Oh yeah.
They've heard players teleporting through nose. There's a force coming in from Hookah.
Look at this paranoia too, that's gonna hit 2-3 players.
Shadows traveling.
Melissa has wrapped all the way around long. Now, there's another weird timing game late in this round. Jelly flashes out from Hookah,
What a
dies
shot.
instantly from Petra, and there's that Rolling Thunder. Mimi, it's her last act in this round. 2 versus 2. A teleport. Vanya moving all over the map, crosses Sayuri up, and wins the round for G2.
Vanya's omen is a thing of beauty. Moving around on the site like that, I mean, look, Sayuri had some good tracking, was aware of what was going down. But at the end of the day, the util combo of those TPs, Petra's Haunt flying in as well. G2 stay alive there. Ooh, the tracking through the wall there is nice. Vanya too, throwing in the jump peek to spot the player jumping out of Hookah there.
A lot of the players G2 needs Petra, Vanya. Had a rough map one, but they're stepping up here on Bind. And, well, Rescue, maybe a little off on the satchels, eats up a lot of damage from that volley, and is now separated from her team. We'll use the rocket to a little bit of safety. She get a kill. Close corner, doesn't connect.
Down to 13 HP.
Spammed by Melissa.
What a botched opener from G2. The satchels sent Rescue into the wall.
And then she walks into the molly.
Yeah, their own Viper molly is sort of stopping the play from excelling.
Amy's gonna get, or at least I thought she would, no.
Vanya up into heaven. She's sticking it through. Posted up here, but trying to get down smokes for her team. She's getting pushed. SRN's through the smoke, shutting her down.
You have to look at SRN. Now here comes the retake. Mimi gets the plant down, but Amy's smoked off. It's the old duo for G2 who are struggling to find a fight here. It's awkward going both ways, but MIBR finally double swing in. Mimi has to do this alone. Her duo's dead, but she's stunned. And MIBR tap the spike. Amy down short, that's a good start.
No fuel.
But needs the 1v2.
Not enough fuel.
Tubes swings out damage onto Amy and finishes her off too.
That's a way to fight back for MIBR. They figured out that Showers play, fell out of there. And then again, like, I don't know, this team just keeps getting kills through smokes.
Just keep spamming. 99% of spammers stop just before they get a kill.
Keep going, keep going. And look, for Melissa and for Sayuri, they just keep on hitting.
We talked about the ults building for G2. Now that's the case for the other side.
Yeah, the ults did not work for G2. Now they're in a drought. And they're in a drought without a lot of rounds to show for themselves.
Not just the ults, the money too. In a very bad spot. Rescue does have a judge. Maybe a chance for something silly. Saren.
Wow.
Okay. Judge gets nothing. And Sayuri is just gonna deal with this alone, seemingly no help needed. Mimi dead too. That's 4 for the IGL.
Yeah, I think she ulted last round. The one before, already 2 off.
Yeah, no big deal.
As easy as that. And of course, G2, now they're gonna have the guns coming to this next one, but it feels like the solution for G2, after playing a lot of these slow rounds where they got punished with walk-ups from a player like SRN, they've started to run these faster pieces. You know, double satcheling into Showers. That time, it's an eco granted, but going for the judge into lamps. The breach gives them a lot of quick fighting options, but the way MIBR have just sort of swatted them down like flies, it makes me consider whether or not G2 should start slowing down again.
Stun set up to take Hookah.
Yeah. Top site smoke you can see as well. Sent from Vanya over onto the B site. That stops that little pixel angle clear. Also threatens that, hey, if the whole team is scaled up behind that Viper wall, we could be Omen TPing in, double satcheling.
Yep.
That pop play could come out of nowhere, especially when MIBR are sort of forced behind their Viper wall when they have no info on this side.
But as you mentioned, they're only playing one agent with the ball smokes. They don't have a Brimstone, they don't have an Astra, no one else to provide the smokes for an execute.
Yeah.
Which means they have to wait for that to recharge.
B side, it's a little bit less punishing. That smoke ends up coming in over on elbow, and look at Rescue, just ready for all those angles, not quite ready for the lat.
SRN gets a kill after she's dead.
What?
2 rounds! And Melissa's just camping the TP.
I have the spike.
If anyone's gonna get back in this round, it's Amy. She made it down short. MIBR, I mean, Siri is ready. She knows it's a possibility, and she gets the kill.
MIBR
30 seconds
seemingly know everything.
Yeah, it's just excellent game sense. She knew that G2 wanted to go into the teleporter. That tells them, hey, very likely, we had no one watching short for a long time, could be there, and yeah, look. Sayuri just keeps getting the job done.
It's now 7-2. MIBR.
Unreal. The problem is, like, look, I said I wanted G2 to play slower. That's all fine and good, but the problem is, when they play slower, MIBR are constantly poking forward in these lanes, especially outside showers. Melissa had prowlered through earlier, saw no one, so she was like, yeah, of course I can wait outside the teleporter. Go stack B, I got this.
Not a problem for her. Melissa? Looks like she might get tested again here. Same stun satchel play goes a lot better this time.
Yeah, it was too high on the entrance last time around. This one looks good.
Connected did. I don't think Melissa has any recourse here.
G2 might just be looking to end up using a Viper's Pit from showers out onto site to get a plant down.
Do you think it's worth investing on an eco?
Possibly. I don't mind it, honestly. Bringing
You're already
the
down
fights down lower.
7-2.
Yeah.
Need any round you can get.
I think they could use it as a fake, honestly, if they wanted to. Usually you'd go much slower after putting that one down.
Similar to some rounds we saw last map. G2 early start towards one side, leave 3 there, send 2 on the other side to fake.
And hey, it's worked, right? 2 rotates going over into the B site.
Or one of the many Mel's has stuck around.
Nice.
And she's policing her site well. Already picks up 2. Hey guys, they're hitting A. And help has arrived. There's SRN with a nade, and yeah, G2's plan goes completely awry.
Yeah, Paranoid gives them a chance maybe, but not really. Melissa just keeps landing these shots.
And help has arrived. There's SRN with a nade, and yeah, G2's plan goes completely awry.
Yeah, Paranoid gives them a...
If they want a fighting chance.
It's just a weird situation to be in, because all things considered, I don't even think G2 were expecting to win this map coming in. Ascent's been their permaban, so they thought they had to stick with that. We're expecting to already have the advantage, though. What can they get with these ults?
G2. Take Kuka control. Oh, that's a rocket! MIBR is aggressing forward. SRN not slowing down. She's blind, still gets a kill, and is alive yet. Not any longer, though. Okay, it's just 1 for 1.
And I was gonna say, it's just Melissa on A.
Just Melissa has been a problem before.
Exactly. Ooh. Saw a leg coming out on the high angle, and he's looking for a bit of chip damage. That's an ultimate eaten up from the G2 camp. She's landing these spam shots. Vanya's down to 14.
Look at the delay utility as well.
And what it means is the smokes are already going down before the spike's even planted.
Sayori has a Brimble.
Get out of U-Haul.
The Viper's Pit. Surely Sayori pops this ult.
You gotta get out of there, G2.
She waits. When did she commit the ult? Now it comes in. There's 3 players inside. But there's a gap. Found. The Viper's Pit stays up. Jubes runs down Petra. Now 4v3. All of the players from G2 have made home of this pit. MIBR will look to evict them on this retake. Mimi getting wrapped by Jubes, who's already made noise, but it's a spam again. MIBR, they never miss through a smoke. The IGL guns down 3.
Ridiculous.
I don't think she saw any of those players.
She's got the heat sensing goggles on or something. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it's working out.
And remember, this is how that round started.
It's so good too, because MIBR are just waiting for the bleach stun to be used and then fast re-clearing, punishing G2 when they step up. Is that normal?
No, I don't think so. Don't think so.
On the normally scale, I think that rate's pretty unnormal.
Pretty not.
Yeah.
Lucky for G2, they've lost 5 rounds in a row, which means max loss bonus.
That's a lucky thing, okay.
At least you have something for the 12th round.
The glass is really half full with you. Jelly Bangs is omping, by the way.
On Gecko.
That's
Oh,
a headshot.
something cosplay. Could have just stuck with the Vandal. Would have done the same thing.
Just a bit silly. I mean, we're throwing down some wild smokes to make something out of nothing in
They're
this round.
fighting back into this one again. Stun is good. SRN. A double. And Petra. Okay.
By the way, the spike's in the teleporter. Body
Yeah.
went on through
Oh,
that.
hello, Sayori. She's got that one. They don't know the spike is there. I have the spike. But they hear the teleport, and Sayori has the execution ready to go for Petra. She's
12?
escaped the noose. Onto the site now. A 1v2.
If anyone's gonna do it, it's the veteran for G2.
Playing with this team since the beginning. A chance to give them a light at the end of this half. That's a hell of a start. Plant coming down. Sayori. Amali. Just nearly misses out on Petra. Sayori swings in and puts Petra down.
Sayori has been playing out of her freaking mind, people. This map is an absolute masterclass from the IGL. 10 rounds to 2. Sayori topping the leaderboard, by the way.
It's just unreasonable. I mean,
She is 17 kills to 4 deaths currently. Sayori top.
It's been phenomenal. A bit rough start, but I'm confident they can come back. Girls have been phenomenal.
Too, so it's been fun.
I think this whole series is going to be really, really close. But Valen, you've played with Vanya and Mimi before. What did you learn about from those players?
Well, I know Vanya is one of the best shooters in EMEA, like flat out. She has the best mechanics I've seen in a long time, honestly, practicing with her. And for Mimi, she has really good calls, and she kind of opened up my eyes on new ways to find kills within the map. So they're both phenomenal, and no doubt they're one of the best GC players in the world.
Definitely, definitely. And Leaf, you are playing with Amy and Mimi really soon, right? What are you looking forward to the most?
I mean, in that tournament, I think I'll probably be playing Duelist, so it'll be kind of funny to go back to Duelist in that tournament, but I think it'll be fun. Hopefully I learned some new Sentinel stuff from Amy, and then also just different Sentinel stuff from Amy, and then also just different cultures. Like it's fun to play with new people, in my opinion, and you know, hopefully it's fun.
Yeah, and definitely right now it's a bit of a deficit, but you're feeling confident that they can come back from this, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this map 2 looks a bit difficult, but it's never over till it's over. And they have a strong map pool, so the next 3 maps going into Sunset map 3, I'm confident they can win that as well.
What about you, Leaf?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I feel like Sunset definitely is theirs.
Oh, okay. So these guys are feeling very, very confident in the House of Gozen, so let's get back into the game.
thanks very much, Mika. Always good to hear from the G2 boys, and I'm super excited to watch that Spotlight series. It was already cool in NA or in EU, now coming to NA. We could even get this match again, MIBR versus G2, with some players from VCT Americas thrown in as well.
Whole lot of fun. The G2 squad, so stacked. They won over in EMEA. And have another chance, the only team coming back with that experience on the stage. But we have a much bigger game ahead right now. Of course, MIBR dominating in the first half. That is expected. Let's see what the benefits of this G2 comp can be on defense.
Rescue confident, but she's just swinging into too many players. The duelist gone. Mimi, it is soon to follow, is getting ran down by utility, but does well to find two. The wingman's planting, but she has more pressing issues.
Look at Vanya inside of the smoke, coming out of that one. Finds the first. G2 now with a numbers advantage, but really Vanya has to stall this out for her teammates to come in.
Jubes just outside in U-Haul. A double swing available for MIBR. This could get very dangerous for G2. There's the swing. 2 taps for Jubes. All she needs, but Petra has to of her own.
Petra couldn't quite close it out in the final round of the first half, but this time the pistol starts it off properly. Even in a tough game, the crowd has had G2's back throughout it all.
Let this be a lesson for everyone. Take the two.
What was the lesson? I didn't quite get that one.
Professor?
Yeah. She'll release the Patreon later, I think.
Okay.
Get the full G2 goes in strat book.
I think the first time G2 has been able to feel a little more comfortable here on
Sure. First time they've had money, I think.
Always cool.
Yeah, I mean, some nice things you can do with the Omen. The one-way smoke over into showers. Interesting, the Vanya's not actually playing on that line. Instead, going a bit more passive. For MIBR, this is now 2 rounds in a row. They've been showing a lot of early showers play. Really trying to condition that in G2's mind.
SQ 3 and 13. Love some eco frags. Get the confidence back, pad up the stats. She was doing so well on Abyss.
He was owning up until the jump peak incident. SRN sat her down, and since then, no contest.
She stayed seated. Okay. Guess the spam through the smoke goes both ways.
G2 kind of bounced back here into U-Haul. Surprising that MIBR actually have a chance to plant the spike, but as they close in into this space, Mimi and Vanya gonna make quick work of them.
Sayori already spotted. A nice wide swing for Mimi to clean things up.
Crowd's been awesome today.
Yeah.
This is the big question round, though, for G2. Are they gonna buy up? Do you take a true bonus here? Or they have the option to get 2, maybe even 3 rifles alongside that Outlaw. Winning this round, of course, springboard them massively, but
we can do it.
Looks like the call from them is to actually take the true bonus. Right now, Mimi's actually just playing all the way in spawn, ready to quickly rotate onto whichever side of the map finds first contact.
MIBR is feeling good right now, but G2 is no stranger to a comeback. We're 5 rounds in a row, 1 against Visa Crew to close out that series.
Yeah, Mimi started to cheat over towards B. Might even see similar moves from Vanya right now. Does G2 actually double up in Hookah? I wonder if they're going to go for a late re-clear of this sand space. If they got that info, it would be big.
Melissa.
It's just
Needs
rescue
to
with the
be
Sheriff.
thorough here. Needs to clear this close right corner.
Oh my god.
Surely she clears it. Surely she checks. She hasn't. That's a gun for rescue.
What a way to start it off for G2. Now MIBR, they're leaning over into B into this double stack. Mimi has a stun, Mimi has flashes to support, and MIBR on the entrance can only do 1 for 1.
Can they even continue this? 30 seconds.
It's tough.
They have no space on A, no info there.
30 seconds left.
Okay, the Molly should give them control.
Spam nearly finds Amy. She eludes it for now, and there's that utility from Mimi coming in.
It's going to be a TP crunch on the other side. Amy is holding her ground on site, but the rest of G2 are pinching in. MIBR have 15 seconds to plant the spike, but there's players all around them swarming into the site. G2 convert the bonus.
They're back! Map 2. What a round for G2 goes in. And it all goes back to the mistake from Melissa. Doesn't clear her corner and shower, gives away a gun, and then her team runs out of time and gets crunched.
This hold in Hookah was so good as well, right? Whether it's Amy on the Viper, she's been playing the Cypher before, but now with the Orb, with the Molly, with a Breach stun too that Mimi's sending in there. The changes in the composition showing up in a big way that round to keep MIBR out of the sight.
MIBR on an eco round now. The biggest goal here, get Jelly the Thrash for next round.
Yeah, next
Two
round's
off
gonna
right
be
now.
explosive. So yeah, Jelly's 2 off. Petra and Mimi are close as well. If round 15 was the most important round of the game, round 17 is going to be the second most.
That's the thing about comebacks. Every rifle round is a turning point. Is there a re-clear brewing?
Mimi has a stun. Here it comes. Satchel in. One single stun, one single satchel, and that's 2 kills.
And it's a spike as well. Delivered on a platter. Jelly will stay 1 away from that ult.
We really didn't know what to expect with G2 deciding to leave Bind open. It has been a black hole of a map for this team this year.
30 seconds left.
For a team that has won every event in EMEA.
Player standing.
They've just had to go on avoiding it.
They'll take a flawless round. I mean, even that long re-clear with Mimi's stun looked pretty nice.
Coach Marlau for MIBR, not too happy. For the first time in a while, MIBR is on the back foot, and they'll take a timeout.
1 enemy remaining.
Trying to think of what's been going wrong for MIBR. Because really, again, they've only played the 1 rifle round. So instead, maybe some kind of a read against G2. I think one thing they might realize is Mimi's stuns have just suspiciously always been on the right side of the map. She's been leaning in off of early pressure from MIBR, early information given away.
Yeah, our defensive positioning has been so good this map. It's pretty rare you see the breach played here, and I imagine that might also be a factor of discussion.
Yeah.
Those trap plays, I think, are even more dangerous than the standard comp that MIBR is playing.
Yeah, the breach lines on defense can be really annoying to deal with because every sort of pathway into a site is straight up vertical, you know? So Mimi can just line up along those lines, stun absolutely everyone. So it means you're forced to have people playing not just anti-flash with their faces in the wall, but anti-stun, playing outside of those common lines to be able to swing in and trade out your teammates.
Remember last map, though, I think MIBR's biggest strength was drawing out the trap plays early on the attack side, going into these late executes. They have to replicate that here.
And remember the first 2 rounds, first 3 rounds even, it was all about showers control for MIBR. They got punished in the 3rd round because they didn't actually stick through into that space. It was just that late walk-in from Melissa. This time I think G2 may be reading that it's going to be moving back into that showers control.
They're absolutely right.
Stun is ready.
Rescue on a fairly passive angle.
Yeah, but that means that MIBR are going to be baited in and 3 players are going to get stunned off of Rescue's contact. A satchel to follow, that might be 3 kills.
But Rescue has to deliver. Stun in, here's the satchel.
Stunned!
They've bottled it!
Disaster. Disaster. It's a new comp for G2 and Rescue gets in front of the stun.
Just too early. Tubes in short. G2's last hope on this re-clear is wiped away.
This was the round to solidify the comeback. And now it's the one to solidify the map for MIBR.
2v5. Amy and Petra. That's
okay.
A good start for Amy. Maybe looking for another lights out performance. But the util from MIBR, it's a Molly, a nade, and an SRN delivering.
How many nade kills is SRN getting?
2 after death, 1 there. I think like 4, 5, maybe 4.
And it's been good supportive utility as well. You know, whether it's a Seize or a Mosh or a Viper Molly.
When we were watching MIBR play in Brazil, I think their biggest strength was their team fighting together. When they play these flash-heavy comps where they can just dump utility, play off each other, that kind of innate coordination between the players is at a crazy high level. And I think Bind is where they get to show that the most.
Yeah, you see it so much, right? Every agent in their comp has some sort of fighting piece of utility. You'll see them combo it all the time. You'll see, you know, all these different awkward angles you have to hold. MIBR very often aware of those. It actually feels like a thing that, I mean, maybe the players are just like fully aware of it, but maybe something they study too, because you saw back on Abyss, they were so aware of all these different off angles, little pixel angles they could own you on. You see similar things with their readiness, preparedness over the site fights.
This is an honest last chance for G2 here.
That it is.
They do have the Raise Rocket, and combined with the Breach, you can set up a lot of trap plays, some aggro ideas early on. I think MIBR's goal this round has to be defusing that ultimate.
Yeah, cat and mouse, right? You just want to dodge away from anything you can. Hope that you can make one of those ults fail again. Last time we saw Rescue with the ult was not able to convert it into a round win, or even into a kill.
That dangerous duo from G2 goes in. Zombie long.
Melissa's never going to make the same mistake again.
No.
Vanya actually TP'd into the corner. Got prowled out, TP'd back out. So no more playmaking really from Vanya.
Amy walks up into short. Here's the rocket. Where's the stun? Incoming now, but it's a rocket from both sides, and the raise from MIBR's above.
SRN wins it out, and the rest of MIBR is fighting forward. Mimi, the sole player over on this B site, will call in the support of Petra on the teleport. MIBR now realize B site is strong, A site is weak, with Lurks walking up, and the teleport's coming through. It's all on Vanya.
Already revealed, and a double swing.
So good, so good. The utility, it's there. They're never gonna follow the same trick twice.
Nope, too thorough. Can G2 even go for this? It's a 2v4.
Do you let them go to 12 uncontested?
They've
got some money. They're gonna go for this.
Okay, one off the ult for both these players from G2 goes in. That's the win condition. The duo. They've been playing together for 4 years, and they have to deliver in this round. But MIBR already knows everything, and they're just gonna get overwhelmed by the utility as they have many around before. Okay, Mimi doubles them up. Melissa's dead too. 1v1, but the knife's out, and the other IGL delivers instead.
Anytime you think G2 have pulled off some heroic play, anytime you think they're gonna win a round, Sayuri says hell no. I mean, look at this opener. It's just beautiful. SRN jumping above Rescue, winning out on the fight. MIBR baited out that play perfectly. And then even when Mimi does the absolute most ridiculous thing possible, Sayuri's there with steady hands to win it through.
When MIBR built this roster, Sayuri was the first piece, the one who collected all of these stars around her and dethroned Team Liquid Brazil.
First time seeing a new rep here on the international stage from Brazil, and they're looking damn good.
Vanya escaped 2 ultimates with that teleport. But Rescue, oh my, almost lost her life. And now she...
Rescue!
Wow, and she got it 4! No ace today. Sayuri again. The IGL
Got the spike.
in a 1v3.
She's got time.
G2 cannot squander this round. Rescue already did so much.
Sayuri's got so many options. Does she re-walk down A short, look for a pick? She could hit a TP afterwards, but she has to find that first one.
And G2 have a strong setup.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, they're giving everything in the front of the site, holding on to backside.
Sayuri uses the smokes. Commits a plant, but Mimi has the stun. Vanya should swing out, and this round should be over.
Nicely done.
It is.
How about Rescue, huh?
I mean, that came out of nowhere.
A 4-piece over on A short. She needed a round like that. Like, let's be honest. SRN has been putting on a masterclass. But after a round like that?
Even after that round, SRN literally has double her kills.
Yeah. It's been kind of insane. And wow, MIBR actually choosing to go for the eco here. You see absurd amounts of ults on the opposite side.
I think it's the right play, though.
I
Don't
agree.
take risks when you're already at 12. You have 5 chances to close.
The important thing for G2 is how they can stagger their ults. Just the pit so far, but look at SRN going! G2 just aren't ready for it. Petra will equalize, but the rest of MIBR are just zipping on in.
Spike down A.
Amy's gonna shut them down for now. It looked a bit suspect for a moment, but G2 take care of business.
all good.
And just one ultimate spent. That's exactly what they needed.
Now they can ration those ults. They'll have something for almost every round for the rest of this half if they use it right. But on Petra there, backs away, doesn't get caught off guard by the flying rays.
What's happening?
My question too.
I think so much, if G2 are gonna make this happen, it's Mimi. I'm not even talking about how she's shooting. I'm talking about how she calls around these refights they've gone for. MIBR have started being able to dodge those out. I think more patience might actually be necessary for Mimi to make sure they're catching MIBR.
Oh, Petra, where did that kill come from? I think you just spammed the lurker.
That was spam. Off of the Viper Orb going up, or off the wall going up.
The dynamic duo split up this round. Rescue without Mimi. Scene. But look at Vanya. Okay, that was bold. No one really to help. I think Mimi on site, but she's not traded. It's even again.
Rescue wants to fight, and she finds it. G2 had to get active, but this map is crazy right now. We're stepping up into A short, but there's showers present. There's still a spike needing to be recovered. They're coming straight into it.
They hear this. G2 is ready, and MIBR is not. SRN though. A bit of space, a bit of time. Uses the nade to create some separation. Look at Sayori. Does this become a flank now?
Oh my god. And Rescue's looking at showers. They don't think this is possible. No one's prepared for this. And Sayori's gonna pounce. Needs the second kill. Absolutely has to find it! And she does!
Rescue catches Sayori off guard. SRN, 1v2, she heads to B.
Pump fakes everywhere, but Mimi's already here.
Rolling Thunder, Aftershock, an ult for SRN in the air! Mimi finds her, and G2 survive again.
G2 stay alive, but at what cost, Mimi? A breach ult and the raise ult used in that 2 versus 1 to guarantee it.
But a win's a win. And MIBR again on an eco round. I wonder if that questioning is around the breach ult usage there. Doesn't matter now, though.
Very true. MIBR, the dangerous thing about them is they just need one good round from SRN. Worthless. Not gonna be this one. Mimi's been sitting up in that spot for the last couple of rounds. Finally finds a head coming on in.
Every year when G2 build up their roster, come out with these new players, we're always talking about the young stars, what mark they can make. But every time, Mimi and Petra are still the ones delivering in these big moments.
Especially when you're on the big stage, when you're in a best of 5.
There's no player in the GC scene, in Valorant, with more LAN experience than Mimi and Petra.
One of the OG duos.
But here's one of the young guns, Amy in the corner. It's an anti-eco, it's her chance to farm, but it's already going oh so wrong! Not for Amy! That's 3 kills. And that's Melissa. No chance to win this round.
Yeah, if Amy drops there, that might have just been the map.
I mean, she dies, that's 2 guns picked up, that's a post plant for MIBR.
She was having to do everything on her own there. Oh yeah. Don't show Mimi a shoulder. He's not gonna let you get away with that. Oh, the cross-map stun support for Mimi too. I missed that initially, but she is literally mid-rotation, stunning up 3 players coming on out of that one.
It's so sick what you can do with Breach on this map.
Yeah. It's a weird one, because the flash, so weak, in my opinion, but the stun, crazy good if you're hitting it on the right timings. And so far in the second half, Mimi has been hitting the right stuns.
So a timeout here for MIBR.
MIBR have a lot to play with.
I think the priority this round for G2 has to be denying SRN the orb. She's one off the showstopper. But that's also what MIBR will probably expect.
Yeah, that's
Where
very
you
true.
get to those mind games late in a game.
Honestly, I want to see MIBR. The problem is they haven't really gotten into a comfortable post plant yet because they've been getting killed before the site hit really comes online. I think when they're able to get active in a post plant, they're crushing, right? They've got a good comp for that. They can catch G2 with a lot of utility in their hands. But so far, whether it's a paranoia or a stun, the stall from G2 has been absurdly effective.
MIBR open B long.
Oh, wow. With a single satchel as well to stop the early swing on through, sending so much utility to force Vanya off that angle. And they get some concessions, right? Mimi loses the flash. But really, MIBR just want to enable SRN to find something. The spike still left in spawn.
A little risky there.
Yeah, they're having SRN pick up that orb while the rest of the team is further away to see if maybe there could be a step up somewhere else on the map. Because SRN wouldn't be crazy enough to get that orb on her own, right?
Surely not. MIBR now groups up B.
Yeah, they're going to go heavy and through long to leave the option of a late teleport in. And really the question is, will ResQ stay in showers and shut down that TP play?
There's a 1v1 in hookah. Mimi needs to stay alive. Her util is critical to this round.
Look at the util.
Another nade kill.
Are you kidding?
Vanya's dead. And now Mimi dies too. That's a sight loss.
Shut up.
She hasn't seen any of these players.
SRN just keeps getting it done. And now G2, they're separated. ResQ solo up into hookah, looking for someone, but she's got no one left on her side.
MIBR with only one player left to deal with ResQ. Okay, that's 2. 3 for ResQ. Needs to save this game alone. But down to 30 health, a crossfire for MIBR, and they put an end to it. 13-10. MIBR take their home map, and they're up 2-0 in this best of 5.
They are just one map win away from another Brazil NA final.
It's unbelievable. G2 goes in. They would need a reverse sweep to recover. If not, Brazil's heading to the final.
Red Bull gives you wings.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.
You want to work in esports? Great. Step 1, never spell it like that. Better.
Step 2, apply to the MasterCard Gamer Academy, a program created in partnership with G2 designed to give you all the tools and resources needed to help you start a career in esports.
This is an education in everything, from creating content to managing a team.
All from experts who will explain every aspect of running a top-tier org, prepping for a broadcast, or designing global esports events for millions of fans.
Selected participants will have access to live lectures and insights you won't find anywhere else.
And even the opportunity to travel to the League of Legends Mid-Season Invitational and Valorant Champions.
So they're flying them out to champs?
Yep.
Thank you, MasterCard.
So if you've ever dreamed of a life working in esports, this could be your opportunity to apply for an unforgettable experience.
Can anyone apply?
No, you can't apply.
Need hosting that's speedy and simple to set up? Our security plan options could keep your online business running smoothly. 24/7 expert support comes included. Choose the right hosting plan for your business with GoDaddy.
If you're serious about building a profitable school community and want the exact systems that have helped us and countless of others succeed, now is the time to act. Join the School Masterclass today, lock in your lifetime discount, claim your VIP coaching spot, and get all of the exclusive bonuses. And don't wait. This offer ends October.
Oi, meu nome é Juliana, meu nick é Jubes e eu sou da equipe MIBR, né, do Brasil. O sentimento depois de jogar contra a Zipto, eu acho que é um sentimento de tranquilidade, eu acho que a gente conseguiu jogar o nosso jogo, né, a gente não tá no nível que a gente quer ainda falta um pouco, mas a gente colocou uma meta da gente melhorar a cada jogo, então eu acho que a gente conseguiu melhorar os 10%, né.
Guardian remaining, and then the Vandal as well, but Zipto... Oh, okay. Christ, SRN is something else. No. Just eviscerates three. Wait. Whoa. Okay, Alexi ain't letting that happen. SRN not going to be able to bull either side, but now down so low, surely dead.
Perder contra a G2 foi muito importante pra gente ver com algumas coisas, alguns defeitos, algumas coisas pra consertar. E eu acho que agora a gente pode realmente começar a jogar o nosso jogo. A gente já começou, né, no caso. A gente teve um pouco de choque de realidade, eu acho. A gente realmente acordou muito tranquila e muito relaxada e muito confiante também. O próximo jogo vai ser sim uma oportunidade da gente se vingar.
That was the Omen player moment from MIBR. Welcome back to the desk. I'm Victoria, together with Kukuka, and we also have special guests from Zipto. We have Ineri and Alexi. Omen player moment had some moments featuring you guys as well, and we got to see a bit of Bind. I know
We're
this
so
is
sorry.
We're
sorry that you had to see it again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any quick feelings? You guys are okay? Recovered?
We're having flashbacks because there was a lot of things that MIBR did that they did to us yesterday, like the B-long push and the shower stick.
In fact, on that, let's reflect on the map we saw just now. Let's move on to our Verizon high-speed moment of the match. And Sayuri is definitely the lady of the hour.
Yeah, I think that throughout this entire map, the casters were doing a brilliant job highlighting the work the Sayuri was doing, especially on the defense. A 10-2 half for the roster of MIBR. Yes, we expected the attack to be quote-unquote comfortable, but what Sayuri was doing from the Brimstone, and especially from this position, was on a different level.
What did you guys make of Sayuri's performance on this map?
We have a fragging IGL, so she's the best, you know?
She's
insane.
So clutch.
Yeah, these moments by Sayuri, I mean, this is a little bit different than yesterday's Bind. I think there were, like you said, there were some repeats here, but I think with Sayuri really stepping up to kind of give it a different flavor. Yeah, she had, I think, 100% clutch rate.
I mean, she was only on a couple of them, but we can say, you know, with a head high that she was in the 2 clutches that she won, and definitely for a map, that ended up being so close. Those moments are the determinant ones. We know that those clutch moments are bound to happen for G2 as well. I think that we see it constantly. But then on Bind, changing the composition from the side of G2, I think that they have been doing throughout the entire tournament. In fact, they've changed composition in most of the maps. I think that this could be the 5th or the 6th. They've only kept the same thing onto Haven, and probably it's because they're spotting their own flaws and they're seeing weaknesses, and probably this is like an easy fix. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, actually, you had some comments about the agent comp change. What?
I was surprised that they changed their comp on Bind, but I think for me personally, I think they just need to fix like the habits on like the behavior of like the team, you know. But I lost. I cannot say anything. But yeah.
And you can now. You guys are now you're guests. Now you can relax and just analyze the game
Alexi,
based on
you were in the
experience.
debate club. You know how to debate. You know that saying I lost is not enough. You have better arguments for that.
Yeah.
So what do you make of the comp change just now? And it looks like they're keeping the comp for Sunset, but do you agree with that, Ineri?
I didn't really like the G2's bridge comp, but I think towards the end we see a lot of creative like stunts. Like the stunts was like really impactful and it brought G2 back into the game. So I think the comp change was really, it was a huge gamble, but it kind of turned out almost good for G2. So I kind of agree with the comp change actually.
Okay, well, we are looking at Sunset now. This is a map you ladies are very familiar with as well. What are you making of this, especially between G2 Gozen and MIBR?
I really like G2's comp with the Neon and Fade and Breach. But SRN on Raze is just different. So I feel like MIBR will take this map for me, I think.
All right, well, we definitely want to keep you ladies here on the desk with us, but we do need to go into this 3rd map of today. Is this going to go the distance? Are we going to get a full series? That is the question that remains in all of our minds as we toss it over to Ender and Mimi.
Well, the last time G2 Gozen took to this stage in a best out of 5, they pulled off the reverse sweep. They beat Shopify Rebellion. They won the first GCC title. And if they want a chance to win again, they need another reverse sweep.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. But the present, MIBR are the victors of 2 incredible maps, crushing back on Bind. But now we go into very different territory. A map G2 are much stronger on. already. We know G2 like to play faster pace early on the defensive side. Getting active up into A while MIBR take control over mid.
Be responsible for spotting towards mid. She's stunned. Lucky for her, no Neon on the other side, so she'll escape with her life just barely. Nade towards spawn. That's a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, crazy fight into mid with Melissa waiting for that aggro. This trade's 1-for-1, but G2 have to like their chances. They have control over backside. They're using that smoke to beat posted forward.
But MIBR want to fight backside. Amy, eviscerated. And Petra can't swing back through. So MIBR regain control of this round.
Yeah, G2, that smoke just stuffed him out of the round. Now they have to refocus their efforts on market. They found this timing to creep up.
Only Jubes is watching. SRN turns and maybe they don't even need anymore. Jubes for one. Swings in for another. The stun from Sayuri is perfection. And it's another pistol round for MIBR.
Near perfect as well. Jelly was the only person that took damage, I believe. This is that fight in mid where actually Rescue was able to get the timing and snipe that first player into market. But MIBR are going to be aware of some of G2's tendencies when it comes to this Neon looking for refights, sort of like flanking you as you're running into that market on a B split. So really good that Melissa was waiting and ready.
It's such a well-called round. And so big for MIBR. The two other teams left in this tournament are both former champions. They've won a GCC before. But MIBR, all 5 of their players, this is their first ever appearance at an event outside Brazil.
Oh my word!
They're delivering, okay, Jubes.
Yeah. By the way, everyone else on MIBR, Vandals in round 2. Jubes, Ghost, no problem, 3 kills.
Yeah, MIBR haven't been FPX buying, but they pull it out this round then.
It's a next level FPX by 2.
Yeah, normally it's what, 2 rifles?
There's the 3 rifles is the common one. Of course, that gives them excellent chances heading into round 3 because looks like Sayuri was actually donated the rifle by Jupe. She'll have enough to buy in the next one and return the favor. You need a strong player that can control that space in mid. Have a really suffocating first half.
Jubes is quite literally more quiet than the rest of her team. But when she has that round, that perfect lurk, you remember it.
I like the way MIBR are calling right now. Avoiding that early fight into A main. Breach stun paranoia is annoying, but they're seizing this timing.
SRN's going so deep. Petra wasn't even blind. SRN wins it anyway. And now this is a crunch onto A. G2 have attempted to fight out of it, but now Vanya has to fall back. They group up together on this site. MIBR, they're so patient. Taking their time, now they scale in, but SRN was ahead of everyone else and goes down alone.
It's all on Vanya here in elbow. Blinded up though, forced into the smoke and pinched from both sides.
2 left for the European side.
Some low HP on MIBR though. Mimi could do some work here.
But Amy has a chance, drops down. Melissa low, that's one. Flicks around, ready for Jubes, but Jubes doesn't give away the game. No one on MIBR peeking, but Jelly's out wide. Mimi gets one, now we're even, but time is still a big factor for G2. Amy, 1v2, and Sayuri! Again! Every time G2 have a chance, every time there's some semblance of hope, she rips it away.
Sayuri has been playing next level Valorant these last 2 maps. Her bind, absurd. And then here winning it out as well. She, again, the only player with a pistol in this round, upgrades to the Vandal after getting the first kill. That's 2 more easy ones.
And that's their IGL. The player who's flexing around roles, played Brim last map, Breach this one.
Where are you?
You know you've got to worry about Jelly, About SRN, Sayuri is just there lurking behind them. Always a threat.
G2 walk up A. Melissa spots it. There's a stun in. MIBR doing well to contain.
G2 have just shown so much aggro into A main. MIBR have not fallen for it. They keep getting into these B splits, into this mid pressure. It's worked nicely for them. Forces Mimi to fall out of market while the rest of G2 rotates in super fast.
SRN. The cage, Mimi spins wide, gets one back through the smoke, but MIBR again trading out well, taking control of this site and just getting that spike down now. Vanya so far away in a 1v3.
Doesn't even really matter if G2 have those fast rotates, does it? MIBR just went out in the hit anyways. Vanya will try her chances with the Sheriff, but there's no guns easily recoverable.
Shadows traveling.
Vanya through the smoke. Okay.
Dear Lord!
That's a good shot, but she can't do it twice. Scary. But MIBR still win that one out. It's now 4-0.
In case you forgot, Vanya's a shooter, people.
G2 are gonna need more of that energy back. They were getting rolled to start Bind. They were covered there to 13-10.
It's the same story here. 4 rounds lost in a row, and that timeout button pushed. G2, I'd be shocked, honestly, if they kept fighting aggressively over A lobby. They could maybe set up some trap plays over there, like keep bodies on that side of the map. But MIBR have just opened up so strongly into mid multiple times that I'd really like to see G2 show some different looks, whether it's, you know, a fast aggro piece into mid with the Neon diving into tiles, that can be effective. Switching things up entirely and controlling B main behind an Omen smoke. The problem kind of is ever since the changes to the map, it's a lot harder for a defender to hold on to B main control now that you don't have that sign that you can hide behind. There's really only 2 angles that you can be stuck on, and MIBR have plenty of util to flush you out.
Yeah, you either want to full commit or hope that, like last time G2 played against MIBR on this map, you're not checking your corners.
Yeah, hey, if they'll take anything they can get at this point. G2 just needs something to work out for them. And if you're looking at the minimap, yeah, Breach is over on the A side. You have a stun, potentially. But I do feel like this won't just be sprinting them down.
Will reveal their secrets.
Don't think
really
so.
like a trap off of some of Petra's utility.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Thrash for MIBR. That triggers this trap, but G2, they have to give space.
That's
Break
all
that
of their
ult.
stuns use. They
Yeah.
have no space. They're stuck and getting stunned up themselves.
And MIBR, they're going to recover their Thrash, wait a couple seconds, and they have another layer to this execute.
Wow, G2 lose big, but they're trying to refight back in.
I think they wanted to deny that orb. It's already too late for that. Maybe they can get some kills.
SRN down.
That's a good start. She doubles up, but she's lost her fade, and now that Thrash becomes active again.
Yeah, it's weird trying to see how many players are on site as the
2
trip
players
is being broken. Jamimi's just ready for it, though.
All right, Mimi. Rescue got detained. Will wiggle her way out of that. As Jelly, 1v4, 36 health. This should be no problem for G2.
What you got, Jelly? That's not bad. Yeah, the blind's not going to make your life easy. All right, G2 goes, and they're on the board. I'm genuinely shocked they pulled that round back. The early Thrash, MIBR spending so much into A, completely stuffed what G2 was trying to do. But this call on the refight and rescue shooting like that, that's going to get you round wins.
Absolutely. Mimi as well. All those players we need to see coming online for G2. Put in a footnote on that round. But on to the next. MIBR still have money. They still have a raise rocket, and if you fail, try again. They're going back A.
It's interesting. I think MIBR coming out of the timeout were maybe expecting something that was similar to my read, which was G2 playing lighter on A. Instead, they've actually just walked in this fight a lot. Keep your eyes on the Breach positioning. That is a nasty stun line to fight off of. And SRN doesn't need it.
No.
Isn't even going to ask. But that follow-up stun is pretty.
And there's the rocket to follow it up. Petra somehow Houdini's her way out of that situation and gets a kill for it too. Dodges the flash, but she's traded out.
MIBR up 1 player. Mimi, though, can use that smoke to creep on forward. No one's really on site. It's just SRN. Because of the wingman plant. And now the smokes go down. Mimi finds that first one. She has been crisp, but Sayuri's just been a little bit better.
Still advantage with MIBR. Sayuri has a rolling thunder.
Timing.
She's gonna rip it. Amy dodges it. She's too far ahead. Another. She needs a kill here. And SRN again and again delivers rounds for MIBR.
Yeah, that duo of SRN and Jelly. You're going to be hard-pressed to beat them in a late-round situation. G2, they thought they'd had something back. There's even moments in that round where Petra finds that first kill, but MIBR just see through the muck, honestly.
One enemy
To come out on top in that one.
Weird buy for G2. I'm surprised Rescue has this rifle instead of handing it to someone else, and well, I guess she's bought down.
She's
so
bought it, yeah.
He's just gonna use it this round, has a neon ult for next.
I like that.
My ult is ready.
Even if she falls, someone else can pick that one up. I think it's the right call on an eco round like this. And interestingly, G2 actually trying to play up here in B main. MIBR have really not gone B main at all. It's been a ton of mid play lately going into A, but G2 have read this almost perfectly.
Crossfire.
10 seconds and Mimi has a stun. Ready to kill all these players, but they're beating that timing, and that's just about perfect. Well done on the entrance.
The trust from MIBR, no util use. Just Jelly and SRN together. Yeah, there it is.
It's just a perfect timing to seize that one.
Mimi, okay, maybe that stun can get her some value now, but look at the utility coming in from MIBR. And the shots too. Sayuri always delivers.
Petra's using the Nightfall? Are you kidding? A 1v2 with the Sheriff. She thinks she has a chance. There's a Vandal at her feet. It's hers now. Util comes out, biding her time. Waiting for the moment to strike, but it's a perfect crossfire and it's unnecessary. MIBR just can't lose these rounds.
The synergy between these players is unreal. When we talk about G2, we talk about it in the span of years. Building a dynasty in EMEA, winning every event, doing everything. MIBR are one of the newest teams at this event. They formed at the beginning of this year. They dethroned Team Liquid Brazil, who beat G2 in GCC last year, and now they're showing up and decimating one of the tournament favorites.
Fashion like this, form like this was unexpected. What can G2 show us to make us believe again? Right now, they've got double trips in mid, maybe even looking for a refight. It's pretty rare to see Rescue fall out of A main this early on.
Got the spike.
Oh yeah, monster on the loose.
Here comes the Thrash.
Good stun.
Split
Here we go.
Ruby, Rescue. It's only 1-for-1. She absolutely needed to get more from that.
Melissa has always been ready for Rescue from tiles on these mid plays.
Catch them.
Petra and Amy.
Ulting into main, Vanya's out of her mind. She sticks it, and she wins the duel.
What the hell? She has no business, but this time, her antics are denied. And the second wave of the Thrash is inbound. Jelly clears through this site, and G2 is forced back.
Mimi is stuck behind this wall. She's gonna go all the way around the world on the flank.
But she's not gonna be here for a while.
Petra's alone. Petra has to find something from backside here to pull pressure onto her while Mimi goes for that flank.
I mean, she's just hopping around, getting spammed down to 30 health. They know exactly where she is. MIBR won't even greet the plant. They want Petra dead. They're hunting for her, but she's on the run. Tucks back
out
towards Market.
She's waiting for it. She gets the kill as the blind comes down. It's into a 2-on-2 now. Petra is ready and waiting and gets the frag. G2 back up in numbers. Desperately in need of this round. With the flash coming in, Melissa somehow equalizes. Petra's so low and Melissa gets the job done.
That was G2's round.
They did everything they needed to win that, and it slips away.
It was the perfect round. The crowning duo. Petra and Mimi back together to save the team. And it doesn't happen. Instead, Melissa wins a Red Bull clutch. And MIBR's train keeps on rolling.
How is that gonna happen? just how. G2 goes and now trailing 6 rounds. They used a timeout 4 rounds ago, Mimi. They won the next round, we'll give them that, but now they are out.
We talk a lot about G2's veterans, but right now I'm looking at the 3 new players who got brought into the roster this year and are now under the pressure of an organization who has a history of success in this scene. They've looked down and out throughout this final. And you can't let this be the way your year ends.
No, not when this team was built to win it all. To reclaim that former glory of G2's.
There was 2 teams coming into this event that were win or bust. Shopify and G2, that was the expectation. G2 are on the eve of losing another lower final to another Brazilian team.
Would be a heartbreaker. Right now, Brazil up 7-1. G2 gonna get active into mid early. They've got no money, Mimi. But maybe some early aggression is what they need? I could have used some of this a long time ago, but I like the spot Rescue's found herself in.
Yeah. Vanya. Okay.
Talk about those new players. Vanya was the superstar.
But SRN's taking the site. And it's going deep as well. Wants to disrupt any retake attempt from G2. Look at this confidence. Not a care in the world. The boom bot gets the kill. I mean, maybe a little overdone. But she still has the kill. And
I mean, what is that? How are you going to play the game? It's just not possible. You're either getting overwhelmed by jellies you to...
What? Petra! Come on! Give something for G2 goes in. This is her chance. She spins around, Shorty out! And again! In the 1v1, Petra fails.
How many times has Petra been one away? She keeps finding these ridiculous moments, but can't seal the deal.
Literally back-to-back rounds.
Even on Bind, there were chances. And it is just disheartening.
You can feel the momentum.
Look at A-Main with an early stun. Rescue on the slide, out in front. MIBR going to be ready on the recluse. Oh, look at that stun line. Rescue stunned up. The goop is in Vanya's eyes. G2 can't fight this out, but Vanya somehow clears through it.
And she's dead. Traded by Jelly. Rolling Thunder committed into the site. Mimi's shoot away.
Even on the other side, Petra tried to go for a flank, but Neural Theft spotted that out. She's got to give it up.
Come on, G2.
Spike planted.
They really have to go for this round. Petra has an ult. They've lost too many close ones. This has to be the round, but look at MIBR. The util again is just so damn good. And Sayari rises to another occasion.
She is always stepping up for this team. MIBR, I mean, an excellent reclear. The utility just about perfect. Yeah, Vanya finds the one. But MIBR's actual set pieces have been so overwhelming.
G2 cobbles together a buy. Half armor on everyone.
Mid-fight, tiles dive, Neon goes in, Rescue. What can she find? The counterblind is perfect! And G2's play is shut down in its tracks!
I don't think there is anyone like SRN on the Raze. When she is getting overwhelmed by another player, always throws that forward satchel, knocks their aim off.
Wait for Mimi. Mimi, G2 just need a round. They don't need it to be pretty, they just need it. Simply put, and it's not gonna happen.
They just fall one by one. Amy's gone too. MIBR are steamrolling G2 goes in. A wall in their face, the last 2 players blinded up. Every piece of utility working against them.
I mean, look how active they're getting. SRN is in their spawn, is wrapping up behind to finish off the round. MIBR are crushing G2.
Now 10-1.
They're just making it look easy, Mimi.
Not a single member of G2 positive.
And it's just a heartbreaking way to go. 1 round out of 11. MIBR, they can taste it already.
This year was supposed to be redemption for G2 Gozen. But SRN wants to steal that opportunity away from them.
Ultimate in from Vanya. SRN is still going for it. What? What? She won that fight?
No one thought she would.
I sure didn't.
Okay, Vanya up top. 1 for 1. Nothing more. Every chance isn't real.
SRN's just still going back into spawn for more.
They can't even follow up off this rolling thunder. SRN is blinded, stunned. She still gets 2! How in God's name has SRN done that? 1 kill away from securing the A. She won't get it. But MIBR are up 11-1. They're 2 rounds away from the championship.
Enemy remaining.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Are you a teacher with a passion to inspire? Do you want to connect with students from around the world and teach engaging lessons? Join
and 1 at the half for MIBR. A pistol round, a conversion, anything away from winning this championship.
I mean, look, it was similar straights, not quite as dire in map 2, and G2 gave one heck of a run to try and come back in that. It starts with a pistol, but it is a long road ahead.
G2. 3 players grouped outside A.
Yeah, getting onto that same breach stun line. Make sure no one can hold easily from elbow. It's really kind of just the SRN show over on A. A lot of times you'd say she'd probably fall out of that line if she hears something, but something tells me SRN's gonna be fighting for this, Mimi.
SRN has been a nightmare for G2.
Okay, G2 don't actually speed up off of that. They expect more players on that side of the map, so Amy is activated into mid, but here comes the crunch. MIBR with the blind, shut down the lurk, and force G2 into an A finish.
It's gonna be a 4v3 retake. G2, how do they approach this? You want to get active, you want to try and play forward here, but they don't really have any opportunities.
Sayuri has full utility.
Gecko, Wingman will already reveal onto one. Stun. Counter util's good. That'll slow down the retake for a second, and Petra starts things right. They've granted some space, and now Petra's wrapping around. Can she make it in time, though? Because her teammates are dying on the site, and now she's the only one left. 1v2. Petra's been so close so many times, and it's the same here. MIBR, 1 round away.
What a performance from this team. Brazil has just captivated the game changer scene. Whether it was the lower bracket run from Team Liquid last year, or the antics of SRN in this MIBR roster.
A completely different team than the one who made it to the finals last year. From a region with only 1 representative at this tournament, MIBR has gone all the way.
But G2 won't go down without a fight. The crowd's still behind them. A force on this round, and Rescue moving on in. Has the judge in hand. Players blinded up in backside, but SNR finds the first one. Rescue, no more bullets left in the tank, and SRN is just making minced meat out of G2. Blinded up, but it doesn't matter. MIBR are going to the finals.
For the 2nd year in a row, G2 goes in crumble at the hands of a team made in Brazil. It's a completely different roster, but they've done it regardless. A 3-0, a 13-1, and a match against Shopify Rebellion.
It's gonna be so good. You have to feel for G2 goes in on stage right now, faltering, just 1 step away from being able to run it back, to have that rematch in the finals. They had an excellent year, but fall just short at the finish.
Heartbreak, 2 years in a row now for G2 Gozen.
But the crowd has been with them the whole time.
And you know they'll be back. A last bow in what was the House of Gozen.
But it wasn't their day. It was MIBR's day, Mimi. And what a performance out of them. The 3-0, as you said, SRN shooting out of their mind. And Sayuri, oh my word. The in-game leader for MIBR having one of the beastliest performances I have ever seen.
It was unreal from her. She formed this team less than a year ago, putting together players who had never been to an international event before. And now they're a best of 5 away from lifting that trophy that they so desire.
Team Liquid failed to pull off the reverse sweep. Failed to win it last year. Made in Brazil. Have a chance this time around. You have a moment to check out some of the map highlights. It is all MIBR.
When Sayuri was interviewed heading into this event, she said, we're not going just for MIBR. We're going for all of Brazil.
Yeah.
Game Changers means a lot to the Brazilian scene. You have at least 2 rosters who can compete for a championship on an international stage.
Yeah, that's the thing. It wasn't like MIBR just dominated all year. You've got serious contenders, Team Liquid, Loud, The Works. But as the sole representative on the international stage from Brazil, MIBR have made good on that promise to their region and have stunned us all here in the arena today.
SRN, an incredible series from them. Every one of these players for MIBR had their moment in this match, and I think there's no better way to do it, right? You're going to another best of 5 tomorrow. You get this one out the way quickly. It was an incredible match, but let's check in with Jubes in our Verizon post-match interview.
I'm standing here right now with Jubes of MIBR. Congratulations!
Thank you,
My
thank
goodness,
you.
this is the roster's first global tournament, and you just brought down one of the biggest teams in the world. What's going through your head right now? You were in grand finals.
Então, primeiramente, parabéns pela vitória. Você agora está a um passo de ir para as grandes finais e você acabou Você acabou de derrotar um dos maiores times do mundo no primeiro campeonato mundial do time de vocês. Como é que você está se sentindo? O que você quer falar pra gente?
I'm nervous. Oh my God, I'm speaking. Muito obrigada. Eu estou muito feliz. Eu acho que o que a gente está fazendo nesse campeonato é com certeza uma história de superação. É um reprise do que a gente fez o ano todo e eu sinto muito orgulho do meu time, cada uma delas e da coach. É um reprise do que a gente fez o ano todo e eu sinto muito orgulho do meu time, cada uma delas e da coach staff também. E eu estou muito nervosa, eu não sei muito o que falar.
Overall, I'm very nervous. I don't know exactly how to say, but first of all, thank you. Yes, I'm very proud of my whole team. We came all over here, so we are making history. I'm proud of all of them, each one of them. And that's it. I'm very happy.
I can feel a lot of excitement coming from Jubes as well. I love your energy. And, you know, this was a very, very dominant win. This was amazing. From Abyss to Bind and then to Sunset. Can you tell us, like, how did this happen? Was it preparation? Was it luck? Was it just the thrill of running the lower bracket? Tell us.
Então, desde Abyss para todos os outros mapas foi assim bem dominante da parte de vocês. O que foi que aconteceu? Foi o boost que vocês pegaram da Lauer? Foi sorte? Foi toda a preparação do ano? O que você tem a falar?
Eu acho que o nosso time ele estava um pouco nervoso, né, no primeiro jogo, só que depois que a gente perdeu, a gente teve um choque de realidade. Então a gente realmente confiou no processo que a gente fez o ano todo e a gente batalhou muito para estar aqui, então a gente se relembrou disso e hoje eu acho que a gente não está 100% ainda, mas a gente conseguiu mostrar bastante do nosso jogo.
If I had to say, like, my team started a little bit like nervous. Yeah, like here we are. I won't say that we are still at 100%, but we are like getting there. We just like fought so hard to be here and like to achieve what we are achieving. So this is what we got.
It definitely shows, and I keep hearing it's not yet MIBR at 100%, right? But Jubes, Jelly mentioned that you are actually like the vibes merchant of the team, and we saw